So I'm Dakota with my Module 10 reflection. I guess the first experience with this interactive technology would be high school. We'd had several smart boards in the school, and I remember they were kind of more of a hassle than what they were worth. You had to recalibrate them every time you turned them on, or you'd click on one edge of the screen and it would click somewhere else. I know only one person could use it at a time, and that could be pretty frustrating. And they were pretty hard to see anything that was on the screen if any light was hitting it, I guess is whatever. We used clickers as well. They were pretty standard. They just had A, B, C, D, and E there was no text or anything. It was basically just you had the four options and you could answer multiple choice or true or false questions. And half the time the sensor wouldn't even pick up the signal. And so based on the information in this module, as well as seeing it today, I feel like these interactive technologies have really just come a long way since then, being driven by an increase in need in technology in the classroom. So as far as the interactive board that I went with, I went with the Promethean Active Board Pro. I felt like it had the most to offer with how you could connect other devices. You could mount it to the wall or a mobile platform, which I thought was pretty convenient. I know there was one other that you could do it with. I'm sure there's more than that, but I really liked how a lot of its features, regarding the touch capabilities of the screen, really resembled a tablet or an iPad. The remote that I chose was the Turning Technologies response card. I thought it would be the easiest for students to use. It didn't have a whole lot going on. It was pretty straightforward. I guess the downside was that the text input was really similar to an older flip phone, and a lot of younger students wouldn't really get it, that you have to press the button a certain number of times in order to get whatever letter you wanted. So I guess that could be one drawback. But so as far as the app, I really liked Socrative. Or Socrative, I don't know how to pronounce it. I've used that in the past. I've used it several times in my classes and whatnot, and I like it even without paying for it, even though it's really cheap. I felt like it had just a lot to offer, a number of really fun ways to assess the students, what they've learned and what they know, and give them as well as yourself feedback, right away. I thought it was pretty convenient. As far as the experiment that we had read about, that article, I felt like the results from that experiment would support what I would have thought. Using a personal response system would be effective, and that finding out what the students know and what they've learned that day, I feel like it sort of breaks routine. It keeps the students engaged. The use of clickers really wouldn't get in the way of the lesson. They could be very easily built into the lesson, so you wouldn't have to take a whole bunch of time out to get set up and take the clicker quiz or whatever you had going on. And I do feel like it would have the same outcome at any level, with how students would feel about using the clickers, how they would think that it would help them, or that it helped them understand, or though I do feel it would be more effective at higher levels of education. But yeah.